So, Sean, March Madness is in full swing. It's here.
What's
You filled
that,
out your
Jeff?
bracket?
What's March Madness?
Shit. Don't fucking put on any goddamn sports outlet because March
I
Madness is everywhere. You filled out your bracket,
think we
right?
just lost like 3 subscribers by saying that. No, no, I did. I filled out my bracket. I did.
So did
And,
I. All right. So, look, Sean, I keep hearing that March Madness is the best time of the year from some people. That it's the best time of the year for sports. I mean, it's a month long tournament pretty much, and it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's a crazy tournament with upsets and all kinds of shit going on.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? Do you think this is the best time of the year?
No,
Hell, fucking no.
no. Now I will say this: it is the best time of the year. Now I want to finish the statement though. It is the best time of the year to test your luck.
Test your luck in making crazy bets.
Because let's get real here. I don't even know the odds. I didn't do no research, but it's like probably 1 in a billion. I don't know. To get the bracket right,
Perfect, all the way through?
full perfect bracket is like 1 in a billion. I don't know. It's probably I don't know the exact. Someone's probably
pretty
gonna comment
sure
the actual.
somewhat. Yeah, I would bet some asshole out there did get one year.
No, someone's done it. I know someone has.
Yeah.
But it's so tough because there's so many upsets and there's so many different variables that go into play. And honestly, I filled out a bracket just for the hell of it because I like competing.
Yeah.
But I don't follow college basketball at all, so it was all guessing for me.
Yeah, I was just about to confess, like, hey, look, you know what? I'm sorry, I don't get into college basketball very much.
There's so many fucking schools.
People are gonna want to march down with fucking pitchforks and torches. How can you not like college basketball? I don't really dig fucking college sports very much. I just don't. But
It's
I
just
will
too
say,
much to follow, man.
and now March Madness, it's fun. You know, everybody feels about it. Even if you don't follow it, everyone does it because
of course.
it's a fun thing. Now, but I gotta say this, man, about March Madness. I think it's one of the worst ways to crown a champion. You're talking about a 1-game elimination in basketball to determine a champion. And people wonder why there's always upsets. In the first round, a 12 seed, beats a fucking, 5th seed and shit like that.
Yeah.
Crazy shit like that happens because in basketball, if it's a 1-game elimination, anything can fucking happen. So I think it's just one of the worst ways to crown a champion. But I will say this. It is one of the funnest. You're talking about 1-game elimination for basketball. It's fun because it is madness. It truly is madness because anything can happen.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, and I completely agree, man. It's crazy because I don't understand. Like, I know there are some people that follow college sports. There's so many fucking teams. I don't understand how someone can do it. I do follow a little bit, and I do like to watch the big time games, the big time schools play each other. Obviously, I'm a Texas guy, so I like to see Texas teams play. But it's just so much, but it is exciting because everybody is watching it.
And I understand people who used to love it back in the day, up until like the 90s, because now everyone's one and done, right? If you're a decent player, you're one and done. You're going to the NBA. But back in the day, especially the 80s. Do you know how many fucking ESPN 30 for 30s there are about college basketball teams from the 1980s? And if you haven't seen the one of Advance and Survive, the one about NC State winning the national title against Houston, that had Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler, those were some great teams with great players who would stay for 3-4 years. Michael Jordan with North Carolina, and Patrick Ewing in Georgetown. It was ridiculous. The talent was just insane, and they would be there for 3-4 years, developing these huge rivals. That's not happening now, really, right? So
it's a new team almost every year.
But I understand why some people get into it. There's a lot of people who get into it, but it's just not really a thing for me. I really I'm one of those guys who tunes in during March Madness. Now, having said that, let's talk about some of the things that have happened so far in this year's tournament, right? So, Northwestern, they get their first tournament victory ever by beating Vanderbilt. Did you see how Vanderbilt lost that game?
No, because I was actually at work.
So, Matthew Fisher Davis, of Vanderbilt, right? They're up by 1 point, and he fouls. He fouls Northwestern with like I think 14 seconds left in the game. He intentionally fouls because he thinks that that Vanderbilt is down. He thinks his team is down when they're actually up. And so he intentionally fouls, sending Northwestern to the free throw line, and then they go up, and the game is over right after that. And that's how Northwestern ended up winning against Vanderbilt for their first ever victory in the tournament.
Wow.
And this dude was like, oh man, I feel bad for this dude because like he really thought that he was that their team was up. It kind of reminds me of Chris Webber. If you know what I'm talking about, Chris Webber with the Fab Five, he did something similar too. He calling a timeout. He fucked up. This guy is probably gonna live with this forever. It was terrible.
I look at this like if a player's not knowing the situation, that's
so
a little bit on the coaches because I feel like the coaches are out there screaming like, "Hey, do this or do that," right? Like that, especially in the final seconds. Like you're telling them what defense you want them to play, what to do, what not to do. I figure at that point you're telling them don't foul or don't do this or do that. Like, where was the communication? And I don't know. There's so many variables that go into play. Emotions, people are fired up. I don't know. That's a fucking worst way to lose a fucking game, though.
Yeah, I feel bad for that dude, but it was a stupid mistake. Another thing that happened was Middle Tennessee. They beat Minnesota. A 12 seed beat Minnesota, 81-72. They were in the lead pretty much the entire game, and they were actually a popular pick by Las Vegas. They were favored to win by 1.5 points, but still it's pretty ballsy for people to pick Middle Tennessee to beat Minnesota, but they did, and they did so fucking
convincingly,
man.
Yeah, I did pick them. That's one of the upsets.
They look ferocious. These guys were intense as fuck.
A lot of people are picking them as like the Cinderella story this year. And that's the only reason I picked them to win.
I was watching these guys, and like, these guys were like extremely intense. Like, wow. Pressure like a motherfucker in that game. Also, USC Trojans, they play basketball? They upsetted SMU.
And SMU was
took out 6 seed SMU 66-65, 1 point. Oh my god.
That fucked up, man. I picked USC to lose that one, so I picked SMU to go on.
Me too.
And that hurts. But hey, that's what the madness is all about, right? Anything can
also, Rhode Island 11 seed, they beat the Blue Jays, the Cretan Blue Jays. I don't know how you say that. The 6th seed, they beat them 84-72. So that was another upset.
Couldn't believe it. I did not pick that. I picked that one wrong too.
Sean, give me your final four. What's your final four in your bracket? Do you know?
Oh, yes. I have my paper right here.
Okay. Give me your final four, and then give me who you got winning in the championship game.
All right, my final four is Gonzaga versus Butler.
Okay.
On the other side, I have Baylor versus Kansas.
Baylor versus Kansas.
Yep. In the championship,
on to the title
in the championship game, I have Gonzaga versus Kansas. So both number 1 seeds. I know, which is very hard and very rare to do, but we're going to have 2 number 1 seeds in there. And I picked Gonzaga to win it.
Oh. Okay.
Because
I got Gonzaga over Villanova. I got Kansas over UNC, North Carolina. And then I got, in the championship game, I got Kansas over Gonzaga being the national title champions. So I got Kansas, you got Gonzaga, same teams in the championship game. But anyway,
but I'm gonna be right. You're gonna be wrong.
I'm sure we'll talk more about March Madness next week. But it's been crazy. We'll see how it goes. Hey, if you enjoy these videos, then click these links down here below for some of our other videos.
And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that subscribe button to catch our future videos.
Yes, do that. Do it now.
What he said.